Chosen one, stop. Do not scroll past this. I need to talk about why you are so tired. Not regular tired. Not I need a nap tired. The kind of tired that sleep does not fix. The kind of tired that lives in your bones. The kind of tired that makes you wonder if something is seriously wrong with you. You have tried everything. More sleep, better diet, exercise, supplements, prayers, and still you wake up exhausted. Still, you drag yourself through days that feel twice as long as they should. Still, you look at other people and wonder how they have energy you cannot seem to find. You have started to believe something is broken inside you, that you are weak, that you are failing, that everyone else can handle life, but you are somehow defective. But tonight, God is about to reveal something that will change how you see your exhaustion. You are not tired because you are weak. You are tired because something is being built inside you, and the construction requires all your energy. At exactly 3:33 this morning, I was pulled into a vision that explained everything. I was standing in what looked like a construction site, but it was not a normal construction site. There were no workers visible anywhere, no machinery running or humming, no sounds of hammering or sawing, no voices calling out instructions. Everything was absolutely silent, the kind of silence that feels almost sacred. Yet somehow, impossibly, structures were rising, walls were forming out of nothing. Foundations were being laid without hands. Something massive and magnificent was being constructed without any visible effort, as if invisible hands were working while the world slept. I walked through the site, looking for an explanation, looking for the workers who must be hiding somewhere, looking for the machinery that must be operating somehow. But there was nothing, just rising structures and complete silence. I was confused and almost frightened. How can something be built with no one working? How can construction happen without effort? How can progress occur without visible activity? Then I noticed a figure lying on the ground in the middle of the site. They were completely still, face down in the dust. At first I thought they were dead, but then I saw their chest rising and falling slowly. They were not dead. They were exhausted, completely and utterly drained of all energy, unable to move or contribute to the construction happening around them, unable to even lift their head to see what was being built. And yet the building continued without them. The structures rose while they lay still. The construction progressed while they rested. Then God appeared beside me. He looked at the exhausted figure with tenderness, not disappointment. He looked at the rising structures with satisfaction. And then he spoke. He said, "This is how I build my greatest works. Not when my children are strong and capable, but when they are empty and exhausted, when they have nothing left to contribute, when they cannot help me even if they wanted to. That is when I do my best work, because that is when they finally stop trying to build it themselves. That is when they finally get out of my way. The exhaustion you feel is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that construction has begun. And the building I am doing inside you requires all your energy, not for you to use. For me to redirect. You are not broken. You are being built, and the building is almost complete." Then the figure on the ground looked up, and I realized it was you. That word is for you. Your exhaustion is not weakness. It is construction. Your tiredness is not failure. It is formation. And God is building something in you that could only be built when you had nothing left. Do not skip this message. Do not scroll away. If you leave before the revelation is complete, you will continue resenting an exhaustion that is actually producing your greatest breakthrough. Stay with me until the end. Your understanding of why you are so tired is about to change forever. Before we go deeper, I need you to do something. Type "My exhaustion is construction" in the comments below. This is not just typing, this is reframing. You are telling your tired body and weary soul that this season has purpose. Type it now and subscribe immediately. Turn on all notifications. What comes after this video will reveal exactly what God is building in your exhaustion. Miss it and you will know that your tiredness has meaning, but not what is being produced. Subscribe now. You did not find this video by accident. You found it because you are running on empty and wondering why God scheduled this revelation, and your exhaustion is about to make sense. Let me describe the exhaustion you have been experiencing. It started slowly, maybe months ago, maybe years ago, so gradually that you did not notice at first, a tiredness that crept in like fog and never fully lifted. At first you thought it was just a busy season, just a stressful period that would pass. You told yourself things would calm down and energy would return. You made plans for when you would finally rest and recover, but the season never ended, and the energy never came back, and the rest you planned kept getting postponed. Now you wake up tired, not just sleepy, but deeply drained before the day even begins. You go through your day tired, pushing through tasks that used to feel easy. You go to bed tired, too exhausted to even enjoy the relief of rest. And you wake up the next morning still tired, wondering if you even slept at all. It is not just physical anymore. It has spread to every dimension of your being. It is emotional. You do not have the capacity to feel things the way you used to. Joy feels muted, excitement feels distant, even sadness feels numb. It is mental. Your thoughts are foggy and unclear. Focus is a constant struggle. Decisions that should be simple feel overwhelming. It is spiritual. Even prayer feels like lifting heavy weights. Worship feels forced. Reading scripture feels like a chore instead of a comfort. It is relational. You do not have energy for people the way you once did. Conversations drain you. Social events exhaust you before they even begin. You have wondered if you are depressed. You have wondered if you are physically sick. You have wondered if this is just what getting older feels like. You have wondered if you will ever feel energized and alive again. You have wondered if the vibrant person you used to be is gone forever. And the worst part is watching everyone else seem fine. They have energy for their jobs, their families, their hobbies. They smile without effort. They engage without exhaustion. And you wonder what is wrong with you that you cannot seem to do the same. You wonder if you are fundamentally defective in ways others are not. God says tonight, nothing is wrong with you. Something is happening in you. The exhaustion you feel is not random. It is not punishment. It is not a sign that you are doing life wrong. It is the energy cost of internal construction. I am building something inside you that requires resources, and those resources come from the same pool you use for daily life. You feel drained because I am using what you normally use, not to hurt you, to build you. The tiredness is temporary. What I am constructing is permanent. And when the building is complete, energy will return in ways you have never experienced. This is the first truth you must understand. Your exhaustion is not meaningless. It is the cost of construction, and God always completes what He starts. Jesus spoke over your weariness. He said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Notice I did not say, "Come to me, all you who have it together." I said, "Come to me, all you who are weary." I have always done my greatest work with tired people. Moses was exhausted when he led Israel through the wilderness. Elijah was exhausted when he heard my still small voice. David was exhausted when he wrote his most powerful psalms. Exhaustion does not disqualify you from my work, it qualifies you for it. Because exhausted people have stopped trusting in their own strength. Do not skip what comes next. The Spirit is about to reveal what your energy has been used for. Let me tell you what God has been building while you have been drained. The first thing He has been building is capacity. You have been asking God for more influence, more resources, more opportunity, more impact. But your current container could not hold more. If He gave you what you asked for, it would crush you. So He has been expanding your capacity, stretching your ability to handle pressure, deepening your tolerance for uncertainty, widening your bandwidth for responsibility. This expansion requires energy. It is exhausting to be stretched. It is tiring to be expanded. But when the expansion is complete, you will be able to carry what used to overwhelm you. God says, you asked for increase. Increase requires increased capacity. You cannot carry more in the same container. I had to make you bigger on the inside before I could give you more on the outside. The exhaustion was the stretching. The tiredness was the expansion. And now you are almost ready to hold what I have been preparing for you. The second thing He has been building is dependency. You have been too capable for your own good, too resourceful, too independent, too skilled at figuring things out on your own. And while those qualities served you in one season, they were blocking you in this one. Because the next level requires partnership with God, not independence from Him. The next assignment is too big for your capability alone, so He allowed exhaustion to drain your self-sufficiency. He let tiredness empty your "I can do this myself" tank. He permitted weariness to bring you to the end of your own resources, not to harm you, to position you. Because dependency on God is not weakness. It is the posture of power. Jesus spoke over your dependency. He said, "Apart from me you can do nothing," John 15:5. This is not a threat. It is an invitation. I want to do everything with you. But as long as you had enough strength to do it yourself, you did not need me. The exhaustion brought you to the end of yourself. And the end of yourself is the beginning of my power. You are not weak. You are finally positioned for partnership. The third thing He has been building is discernment. When you had unlimited energy, you said yes to everything, every opportunity, every request, every demand on your time. You could not tell the difference between good and God, because you had enough capacity to handle both. But exhaustion forced you to choose. Tiredness made you selective. Weariness taught you that not everything deserves your energy, and in that forced choosing, discernment was developed. You started to recognize what drained you versus what filled you. You started to identify what was assignment versus what was distraction. You started to protect your energy in ways you never did before. This discernment will serve you for the rest of your life. You will never again waste energy on things that do not matter. You will never again give yourself to opportunities that are not ordained. You will never again confuse busy with purposeful, God says. The exhaustion taught you in months what prosperity could not teach in years. When energy was unlimited, you wasted it freely. When energy became limited, you spent it wisely. That wisdom, that discernment, that selectivity, these are worth more than the energy they cost to develop. You have graduated from a season of hustle into a season of holiness, from working hard to working right, from saying yes to everything to saying yes to the right things. Archangel Michael declared over your discernment, I have watched chosen ones burn out because they could not tell the difference between calling and distraction. They said yes until there was nothing left to give. But this one learned through exhaustion what others never learn at all. The selectivity that now guides their decisions will protect them from 1,000 future burnouts. The wisdom they gain through tiredness will serve them for the rest of their assignment. Do not pity their exhaustion. Honor it. It purchased something priceless. Proverbs 4-7 activates over your discernment. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And in all your getting, get understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing, not energy, not productivity, not endless capacity. Wisdom. And your exhaustion bought you wisdom that money could never purchase. Within 14 days, you will see clearly something that used to confuse you. A decision that was murky will become obvious. This is the discernment that exhaustion produced. Let me tell you why God builds best when you are empty. When you have energy, you interfere, not intentionally. But your strength tempts you to help. Your capability convinces you that you should contribute. Your resources make you feel like you need to do something, and in your helping, you often slow down what God is doing. You add your plans to His plans. You layer your timeline over His timeline. You insert your methods into His methods. But when you are exhausted, you cannot interfere. You do not have the energy to help, even if you wanted to. All you can do is lie there and let Him work. And that is exactly what He needs. God says, "Your exhaustion was not my cruelty, it was my strategy. I needed you out of the way so I could build what you kept, trying to build yourself. Every time you had strength, you tried to help me, but your help often delayed my work because your help was based on your understanding, not mine. The tiredness removed your ability to interfere, and in your inability, I had unobstructed access to construct what I have been planning since before you were born." This is the paradox of divine construction. Your weakness is His access. Your emptiness is His opportunity. Your exhaustion is His invitation. When you have nothing left to give, He can finally give you everything He has prepared. 2 Corinthians 12:10 activates over your weakness. "For when I am weak, then I am strong. When I am weak, then I am strong. Not when I am weak, I become strong later. When I am weak, I am strong in that moment." Because weakness is the condition for divine strength to operate. And you have been very weak, which means you are about to be very strong. Within 21 days, strength will begin returning, not your old strength, new strength, strength that does not come from your resources, but from His, strength that does not deplete, but sustains. Strength that can carry what is coming. Do not skip. What comes next reveals how much longer this season lasts. Let me tell you how close you are to completion. The building is almost done. The construction is nearly finished. The exhaustion is ending because the work is complete. You have been wondering how much longer you can last. You have been counting days, wondering when relief will come. You have been questioning if you have the stamina to continue, but you do not need stamina for much longer because you are at the end, not the middle. What felt like an endless season is actually approaching its conclusion. God says, "You thought you were at the beginning of exhaustion. You are at the end. You thought the tiredness would last forever. It is lifting. You thought this was your new normal. It was your final exam. The construction that required your energy is complete. The building that drained your resources is built. And now, the energy begins to return. Not slowly, quickly, not partially, fully. What took months to drain will take days to restore. because I never intended for the exhaustion to be permanent. I intended for what it built to be permanent. This is good news. The end is closer than you think. The relief is nearer than you realize. The energy is returning faster than you expect. But it is not returning to its old condition. It is returning upgraded, enhanced, multiplied. Because you will now operate from what was built, not from what you had before. And what was built has a different engine, a stronger foundation, a deeper well. Isaiah 40:31 activates over your renewal. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Renew their strength, not continue in their own strength. Renew. Something new, something different. Something that does not operate by the old rules of striving and pushing, something that flows instead of forces. Within 72 hours, you will feel the first signs of renewal, a moment of energy you have not felt in months, a spark of vitality that surprises you. This is the beginning of restoration. Let me tell you what to do in these final days of exhaustion. First, stop apologizing for being tired. You have been saying sorry for not having more energy, sorry for not being able to keep up, sorry for needing rest, sorry for not being who you used to be. Stop. Your exhaustion is not a character flaw, it is a construction cost. You do not apologize for the price of a building that is making you greater. God says, stop apologizing for what I am doing. Every time you apologize for your tiredness, you apologize for my work. The exhaustion is mine, the draining is mine, the construction is mine. And I do not apologize, so neither should you. Second, stop comparing your energy to others. They are not under construction the way you are. They are not being built the way you are. They are not being prepared for what you are being prepared for. Their energy is irrelevant to your process. Their capacity has nothing to do with your construction. Their season is not your season. Stop looking at them and wondering what is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong. Something is being built, and their building schedule is not yours. Third, stop striving and start surrendering. The exhaustion will end faster when you stop fighting it. The construction will complete quicker when you stop resisting it. The building will finish sooner when you lie still and let God work. Every time you push through exhaustion to prove you are fine, you slow the process. Every time you perform energy you do not have, you extend the timeline. Every time you pretend to be strong when you are weak, you delay completion surrender to the tiredness. Rest in the exhaustion. Let God finish what He started. Now seal this revelation over your life. Say this out loud. Your voice activates the understanding. Almighty Father, the builder who works while I rest, I receive the revelation of my exhaustion tonight. I am not tired because I am weak. I am tired because you are building. I am not drained because I am failing. I am drained because you are constructing. I stop apologizing for my exhaustion. I stop comparing my energy to others. I stop striving when I should be surrendering. I trust what you are building in me capacity. I did not have before. Dependency. I could not learn another way. Discernment that will serve me forever. I receive the news that construction is almost complete. I receive the promise that energy is returning. I receive the strength that comes from your work, not mine. From this day forward, I rest in my exhaustion, knowing it has purpose, knowing it is temporary, knowing what it is producing is permanent. My exhaustion is construction, and I trust the builder. In Jesus' name, Amen. Heaven recorded that surrender. The construction is acknowledged, the completion is near, and your energy is about to return multiplied. Now complete the revelation. First, like this video, this is not about numbers, this is about agreement. When you press that button, you agree that your exhaustion has purpose. Do it now. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications. More revelation about what God is building in you is coming. If you are not subscribed, you will miss it. Subscribe now. Third, share this video with someone who is exhausted and wondering why. Someone who feels broken because they cannot find their energy. Someone who has been pushing through tiredness for months without relief. They need to know that construction is happening while they rest. Send this to them right now. Fourth, type "My exhaustion is construction" in the comments. Let other tired chosen ones know they are not alone in this building season. Let heaven record your understanding and your surrender to the process. Type it now. Chosen one. You came to this video wondering why you are so tired, wondering if something is wrong with you, wondering if you are broken or weak or failing, wondering how everyone else seems to have energy that you cannot find. You are leaving knowing that God has been building while you rested, that your emptiness was His opportunity, that your weakness was His access, that your inability to help was exactly what He needed. Your exhaustion is not weakness, it is construction. Your tiredness is not failure, it is formation. Your emptiness is not brokenness, it is opportunity for divine building. Your inability to contribute is not a problem, it is the prerequisite for what God wanted to build alone. The construction is almost complete, the energy is returning, and what has been built will carry you further than your old strength ever could. What has been constructed will sustain you longer than your previous capacity ever managed. What has been formed will last forever, while temporary energy would have faded. Rest now, rest without guilt or shame, rest without apology or explanation. Rest knowing that the builder works while you sleep. The builder is almost completely finished, and what he has built inside you is magnificent. Amen.